Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's bright and early. Mind, body, and soul, daily discipline. This is how we get through. I did not want to wake up this morning. Let's talk about revenge. You ever have thoughts of revenge? You ever take revenge on anybody for anything? I don't think a lot of people have taken real revenge. Maybe you've done little petty bullshit. And you know what's interesting about revenge? I guess it's this kind of childlike playground kind of I'll get you back kind of attitude. There's also this ego involved with it where I'll teach you a lesson. Nobody fucks with me, so I'm going to teach you what happens when you mess with a guy like me. It's kind of a way to just save face, because a lot of times when we want revenge, we feel embarrassed, we feel hurt, we feel shameful, guilty, we feel emotions of negativity. And it can feel very right in our minds sometimes that justice requires action. Is justice revenge? When a guy gets busted after committing a horrible crime, is what the state does to him, lock him up, send him away for 110 years, supermax federal prison, is that revenge by the state? Is justice revenge? I think there's obviously a difference between justice and revenge. Or is there an obvious difference? When does it become so not so obvious? When justice and revenge, when that fine line gets blurry. My father was murdered in 1991 in a gang war. I'm not gonna say he deserved it, but it's how that life goes. This was a gang war. There's no right or wrong side in a gang war. When my father got murdered, I got the call from my uncle. He told me all about it. Told me about the FBI investigation. And he told me who did it. My uncle didn't know the guy who did it. He just was told by the FBI. He said, there's this guy, maybe you know him. His name is Little Mike. They have him in custody. And he's being charged with the murder of your father. We shot your father in the belly with a shotgun. Your father died on the operating table, bleeding to death, screaming, yelling. I know who Little Mike is. I hung up the phone and I sat and plotted my revenge. I know just who Little Mike is. I know that motherfucker. I know Little Mike. I'm gonna get you. I'm not scared of Little Mike. I'm gonna get Little Mike. This punk motherfucker he messed with the wrong family. I'm a lot smarter than my dad was. A lot wilder. A lot more courageous. And a whole hell of a lot more violent. I'm gonna get you. And I sat there on the floor. I sat on the floor of the kitchen, crying about the loss of my father and plotting the murder of the man who did it. I had the whole plan of how I was going to get up into the same yard as Little Mike. They had him in custody, so my plot had to involve me getting arrested. I had to get arrested, but for what? I had to get arrested for the right thing so I could get put in the same section in the same prison. So I plotted it all out. I plotted out several scenarios. Seeing them in a line, maybe I can jump out of my line and stick them. Seeing them on the yard, how fast can I stick them before the fucking tower shoots me? catch him in his cell, chop his head off. Oh, I had it all planned out. I really did. Every tiny little detail. As I sat there planning the murder of my biggest enemy, planning my revenge plot, crying at the same time, lost in emotions, lost in a world of hate. I mean, extreme tunnel vision like you can't even imagine. When you're in that world, you're not seeing what's around. Your peripheral vision isn't operating. You're not imagining happy thoughts. You are in a dark tunnel. It was a really weird experience. I had almost like a supernatural experience right at that moment. As I was in my world of hate, sorrow, desperation. I heard a voice. I'm not kidding. It was like a voice, like you hear my voice now. It wasn't a voice in my head. It was a voice in the room. And it said, "Everything will be okay." That was like a fucking lightning bolt through my head. I snapped out of my revenge plot immediately. I jumped up and was just like, "Is somebody in here with me?" That's what I said. I looked around the house. I didn't find anybody. I was sure that I was going to find somebody in the house with me. I heard the voice. Somebody's here. I sat back down on the couch and started thinking about the whole thing and what was going on, and right then and there, I gave up my revenge plot. I realized that revenge isn't going to bring my father back. And revenge isn't going to stop me from crying. All revenge is going to do is put me in a jail cell, and I'll just be crying and feeling sorry in there. Revenge solves nothing. Revenge continues a cycle of hatred, of violence, of negativity. A cycle that needs to be broken. That circle of revenge needs to be broken. You replace revenge with forgiveness, and you let karma work it out. You let God work it out. It's not our job to seek revenge. It's your job to move forward. I realized that my father wouldn't want me to ruin my life because of his choices. Seeking revenge for his murder was not his plan for me. Moving forward was his plan. If you want to honor the dead, don't seek revenge. Seek forgiveness. Seek light, seek strength. Seek peace. I realized that I had to end a cycle of violence that had been going on in my family. Gang violence, based on revenge, based on anger. I had to end a cycle of negativity in my family that had been going on for more than 100 years. It took me a while. But it started, my journey started that day when I gave up my revenge plot. Let it go. I don't know what happened to little Mike. Little Mike served 4 years in prison. Got out. Who knows where he went, what happened to him. He could be living somewhere still to this very day, right now. And what he did doesn't matter anymore. It's not my burden to bear. If he died, he'll have his judgment day. He'll pay. But I don't have to lose my mind thinking about that kind of crap. When you seek revenge, when you hold on to that type of anger, you're just taking poison. You slowly slip into mental illness. That's where anger always leads, is mental illness. Anger itself, one could argue that just anger itself is the doorway to mental illness. We think anger is such a natural emotion, and I mean, in some ways it is, but we have to keep ourselves in check when we're in extreme emotional states. Anger is not the proper emotion. When you're in extreme emotional weakness, and your emotions are taking you over, like mine were on that kitchen floor, anger's the wrong emotion to follow. That's the devil. You gotta be stronger than that. I don't know if anybody gets it. It's all just food for thought. Thanks for watching.